So yeah, there you go. So look, this is going to be mute. It's going to go, you know, it'll be fine in a couple of weeks. It'll be fixed, but it just shouldn't be released like that. I mean, it's not a me problem, is it? It's not a you problem either. It's a their problem. Really, $70? Come on, lads. But it's all down to this amazingly modeled study level 3D cockpit that allows you to really fly the 737 in your own home.
Nevertheless, grave danger I fear in his training.
That button. Continue. Make a nice smooth look. Look there. A lot of pressure here. record, and I'll have some odd random stream during the week, and I'll see you then, folks.
Yeah, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.
And we will certainly miss this, but this was very special goodbye there, folks. See what happens. The sea is climbing all over the place. The weather's crashing at right, those buttons. It's time for us to sign off. I think she wants a treat. Do you want a treat, Mr. Box? Do you want a treat? Okay, just look at me until I actually get off the seat. Excellent, folks. Pleasure as always. To meet you. See you next time.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome. I hope you're having a good Thursday. It's Thursday. Wow, time flies. I had to look at my phone there to make sure I had the right day. It's Thursday. The week just flew by. Welcome. I hope you're all having a good week. Now it's time to shut off into Lululand. Yes, isn't Flight Simulator great? These intelligent type simulators to get you away from all the stuff. Now, I really enjoyed yesterday's stream actually, because you're just in Lululand. It's great. No drugs required. Now, folks, Lonely Reaper asked me, could we do the Simbrief process one more time? Yes, absolutely. So we're going to do that. I'm going to slow everything down a little bit just for that part of it, okay? Now, do ask me questions if I say something. Now, it is recorded onto YouTube. It should be, because one stream this week, YouTube, I have to delete it now because they're not going to upload it for some reason. But usually they are 99% of the time they're uploaded onto YouTube. So that's what we're going to do. We're in Houston, in America this time. And we're going from Houston, Texas to Dallas, Texas. I think Houston's in Dallas, is it? Or sorry, in Texas? Anyway, we're in America now, so it's going to be a little bit different for the UNH, but it's not a big deal. Now, so the flight plan. Let's see who's at the chat before we go. Lonely Reaper's here. Happy days. As I said, DCS Ducks, hey ho to you. I think I got a message from you there, DCS Ducks. I'm just really busy. I'll have a look at it hopefully during the cruise, but it's going to be a quick cruise. There's someone flying around there in what is not that aircraft there actually. It's just an aircraft I haven't paid for. It's one of those VTOL aircraft. And it's a shame I can't see it. Oh, look, we got some peeps with us as well. Let's see who they are. I'll get to YouTube now in a second. Copy D, how you doing as always? So flying along with us to the North European server we have. Now I know all the tags aren't showing up. Raptor X and the 737. The gun is with us. The gun 007 and floating around there it's not showing your tag. So in the cruise we'll pop out. Now you're probably asking yourselves, why did I choose going from Houston to Dallas? Well, I looked for the worst weather I could find. The weather's improved here now. It was raining. The visibility was much worse, but hopefully when we get to Dallas it'll be a lot worse. So good stuff. Let's just leave it here for the moment. We get some eye candy going here, right? And let's get the flight planning done. Now I thought this week where are you? Simbrief. Now I'm going to do the flight again, okay? So new flight, no bother. So what I'm going to do here, okay, I'm going to go from scratch. So the first thing in Simbrief you need to do is have an account, okay? You log on, have an account, do all the usual passwords and stuff, right? Now, you have your account set up, done, right? I'm just going to go back a little bit further because I never really explained this to you. So Simbrief, right? You just log on, create an account, that's it for the moment, okay? That's done. Now in the Fenix and in most of these aircraft, you can log on to in here, right, in the pad. So the first time you do it, I know maybe Lonely Reaper you've already done this perhaps, but I may as well just go back just a little bit. In here, I think it was settings, and you log on. Now I can't show you that process because Navigraphs you can also connect Navigraph. It comes up here to log on to Simbrief somewhere. Is it in here? I'll just root around because it's not, I've done this already. Sim settings maybe. No, it's actually clever the way they've done it, if I remember correctly, and I usually do. When you go into my flight, it'll ask you here to log on to Simbrief, right? Somewhere in here, okay? So and then when you go to your flight plan, let's just hop out here again. right? You go to your flight plan. You make up your flight plan. You generate your flight, and that uploads it to the cloud and your Fenix Airbus. It's actually very straightforward. I think you've gotten that far, Lonely Reaper, haven't you? Oh, DCS Duck says no messages from me in the last 2 weeks at least. Okay, maybe it was someone else. Oops. Sorry about that. So let's start from the beginning. Right, so looks very complicated and scary. Don't worry about that. Keep it simple to begin with. Simplify the shit out of it and build on that. That's what I say. And start badly. Otherwise you won't get started at all. So we are not worried about the airline or anything like that with the flight number. All you're worried about is the departure and arrival and the airframe, and that's all you need, right? So I just keep have a look there, Lonely Reaper, in case you're asking me a question, right? So depart. We're departing from Houston, which is the ICAO Kilo India Alpha Hotel, right? Boom. Now I presume you know what the ICAO is. ICAO, every airport has an ICAO identifier. It's a 4-letter word. America begins with K, Ireland is IE, England is Golf, and so on and so forth. So they're all unique. We're going to arrive into Dallas, which is KDFW. See? Now it puts in automatically or alternate. Don't worry about that. The date and time, don't worry about that, right? And then the airframe. Boom. Airbus A320. Boom. Now I have to think a little bit harder because I'm kind of used to all this with the flying the little airplanes. No TAMs, notice to airmen, don't worry about that. That's all the other stuff. There's all sorts of things behind the fuel, right? Don't worry about this, right? Contingency fuel, that's all done by the company, and you have your procedures and so on and so forth. You know, you usually have reserve fuel and contingency fuel and fuel for your alternate and holding at your alternate and all those kind of things with regards to law and safety. Advanced aircraft options. You see, I have to tell you, first of all, don't get all het up with the planning, because you can plan your own flights in Navigraph. I'm going through the route is, give me the flight plan and shut the hell up and let me get on with it, right? Because in the airlines, I couldn't believe it. Well, it does make sense, actually. In the airlines, they hop onto the Airbus, some of them, right? And the flight plan is in the computer for them, and they just type in what they want, and it's all done for them. And they just get on with it. They check it, but they get on with it. So there's a whole department with all of this flight planning, and they do it all for you. Now you need to know what it is, I suppose, in the real world, but let's not get too complicated. Here, off I go again. So that's all I've done, okay? In game, I'm having to reload the game. Okay. So don't worry about the scheduled flight time, because all of this stuff, now it does tell you can change your departure runway or arrival runway, but this will also include the weather, and it'll take you out the correct runway and back into the correct place with regards to the winds. You always land into the wind if you can. I believe you can. I am complicated things, but anyway, that's all you need to do, right? So I'm going to generate the flights. Lots of guff here, right? That's fine. So just to recap, all you need is departure, arrival to get started on your airframe, right? I'm going to generate the flight now here. Boom. Yep. When you see it generates the flight plan, goes up into the cloud, and I'm going to suck it down into the Fenix Airbus, because it has all the connectivity with Simbrief and all that stuff. So we've done, right? There's an overhead view. Looks good. This is the complicated now. I have holes with this as well, right? But all at the moment, as far as I need, right, is now there's lots of fuel planning and all this kind of stuff. You've got taxi fuel, you've got trip fuel, you've got contingency fuel. Don't worry about that. What I'm interested in here, what I've been doing so far, is go to now. Also, yeah, this here, this actual layout of this flight plan is different according to the airline, and you can change that up here somewhere before you start. But anyway, and they're all the same to some degree. What you're looking for here is, I'm looking for flight plan. OFP, no. Where is it? There we go, ATC flight plan. You're looking for something like that. But what I tend to like here for the moment is, that's a little bit overly complicated just for now. What I'll do is, it's usually up the top somewhere. Here we go. Boom. Right. We're going from KIAH, yeah. Runway 15 left. And these here are the airways, right? They're all the airways. And there's our arrival, KD Foxtrot Whiskey. Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey. and we're landing in runway 18 right. The standard instrument departure is how the aircraft takes off and joins these airways. And joins those airways. And when you upload this into the FMC, it won't. You have to do that yourself, okay? But it'll load up the airways for you. So that's our standard instrument departure. We take off and we turn onto the airways. Standard instrument arrival or standard terminal arrival is that code there. Now I don't know the logic between these codes, I have to admit to you. And that's all I'm doing. Do you know? That's it. So that's the Simbrief. Now I agree with you, there's a lot in here. And there's the flight plan there again. So that's what you're looking for. This one is the Aer Lingus one, by the way. This is the one they use for Aer Lingus. Does that make sense? I hope so. Clappy D says the account is a Navigraph account. Oh yes, it is now, Clappy D. Thank you. Actually, yes, because what happened is Navigraph bought Simbrief, right? Of course, they're silly of me. So this is Navigraph here. So they're one company now. Some people at Navigraph like to plan their own flight, like the planning department in so many companies. And you can do that as well. I haven't done any of that because I'm thinking, just give me the damn flight, you know? Give it to me and that's it. I'm not a flight planner. I don't do that. Pilots don't do flight planning. They should know how it's done for obvious to check it, but they don't need to plan the flights. The company do all that, you know. So it's owned by Navigraph. So let's look at Simbrief.com here. Anyway, there you go. Now we'll come back to this. Let's go into the cockpit. Boom. So now that I've uploaded it, what actually happens here is this is actually, I believe, just taking in the weather from Simbrief. Okay, and that's the weather, the real world weather. Unit mismatch. Now, okay, we're going to have some of this stuff going on here because in America they use, instead of hectopascals, they use inches of mercury. So I'm going to dismiss that. Excuse me. I'm not worried about the times. So that's that. Okay, so let's go to the checklist. We're going to do more flight planning. I just want to go to the checklist so I don't forget something. So as per usual, I'm just checking my flight controls are in the sim, are connected to, I'll hit Alt L here just to give me a light. They're all, the tents are all working great, happy days. And I've got the gear down. Yep. And I've got the engine starters to off. Sometimes you leave your controller like that, you see. And it, you know, it tries to start the engine before you do anything. So just make sure everything's set. Flaps are up, spoilers are up, and all that kind of stuff. And the brakes are off. The auto brakes. Okay. So, parking brake, yeah, set. Wipers are up here. They are set to the off position. There they are there. Spoilers are, we said, were up. Engine masters are both off. Yes. Engine mode selector. There's the engine masters. Engine mode selectors off. Thrust levers are set to the idle position. Flaps are retracted. Yes, they are. Anti-skid, which is up here, is onto the on position. Landing gear lever is checked down. There we go. And fuel quantity is checked. That's done with the flight plan. It's all done automatically. You can change it and play around with it as much as you want. Now, we're going to get to the flight planning now. Right, bear with me. We want the batteries in the aircraft. Boom, boom. Also that checking the voltage, is the voltage correct there as well before they go anywhere. External power, if it's available, it is available, and we can start the external power. Boom. Strobe lights to the other position. EDIRS is your navigation. You have to have this on. If you don't have this on, you're stuffed. Okay, so put it on nav. It will take 9 minutes or so, but if you want it instant, so if you see I come across here, it's booting everything off as I start the batteries. It has a self-test for about 40 seconds. And as you'll see here, when this actually starts up, you'll see that there's no artificial horizon or anything like that. I'm just setting this down by artificial horizon there. See, it says map not available because it doesn't know where we are. It needs to know where we are on the Earth. So it's going to use the GPSs. It's going to use the gyros and all that kind of stuff, laser gyros and all sorts of gumph. So you see, it's not reading anything there. So that's because it's going to take a while, right, to align the IRSs, etc., etc., or ADRs. So I'm going to switch those off. and on, so it'll do it immediately. Because that can cause confusion. You're looking here going, what that does? See? All done. Happy days. APU and engine fire test. Okay, you can do all that. That's not important. It is a simulator. There's one here. And there's one here. And all the lights and the oil warnings are working, etc. Happy days. Instruments and display brightness. Okay, we can play around all the lights. Thankfully, they have them on by default mostly. I'm going to put it on the dome light here so you can see. Great. Seatbelt signs on. Assume reporting. I'll put the no smoking on now. Smoking, yeah. Emergency exit lights. That's over here. That's the emergency lights down in the cabin. Annunciator lights. Okay, you can test all the bulbs. That's just it says Anon LT. You can do that if you want. Just check all the bulbs. But it is a simulator. Now back to flight planning. Let me keep that chat open. Okay, so down to the flight management computer. It did page 1. Now, what this is going to do is we're going to put our company route. I don't know how that works, okay? I'm not going to do anything here. Init request, okay? And what that's going to do is that's going to download your flight plan from Navigraph/Simbrief, which we did there just already. Let me get it up here again. Boom. When we hit generate flight, all of this information, all of this stuff's going into the flight management computer. All of that stuff. Fuel, all of that kind of stuff. Massive balance is going to happen. All of that kind of stuff. The weight of the aircraft, everything. So that's what's going in there. So I'm going to hit that init request. That's going to take it off from Simbrief/Navigraph. Takes a bit. And then you'll see here from to. There we go. We're going from Kilo India Alpha Hotel, which is Houston, to Kilo Delta Fossa Whiskey. Flight number, doesn't matter, whatever that is. 01 I always put in here for the moment. Cost index, the airline. So when you're in the cruise and climbing and whatnot, I think it's pretty much for the cruise. It'll slow you down, so it'll take longer to get there, therefore save more fuel. Right. Greetings to you. Oh wow, it's TTTLLLKJJJCCC. Is resubscribe Prime for 8 months. It says hello. I said I'd call you TK, didn't I? TK, thank you very much. I know you're not going to change that because you like it when I have to go, oh, hello, TTTLLLKJJJCCC. So thank you very much for resubscribing. And this is great. Thank you so much. That keeps the channel going. Happy days. You've been with us now for 8 months now. I remember the day you first joined. I was giving out, who has this? TTTLLLKJJJCCC. I said, what do you think? What kind of name is that? Keep it there. It's a bit of fun. Thank you very much for resubscribing. So where was it? The cost index. Yeah. So the cost index, think about it. If you're going to drive your car from A to B, if you drive very, very fast, yes, you will get there quicker, but you'll burn more fuel. So what's the in-betweeny bit? So what if time isn't an issue and you want to burn the least amount of fuel for your trip? Well, it's a lift drag. Well, it's a drag ratio, isn't it? Apparently your car, I think it's 80 kilometers an hour, is the most efficient way to drive your car. I don't drive like that, by the way, but so there you go. It's cost index, the best cost. We'll go 3 for the laugh here, right? The higher that is, you'll notice the cruise will go faster. Cruise level and temperature. So what's the cruise level? Let's go to the flight plan. It's in there somewhere. Now it doesn't matter. You don't have to have the right cruise level, but you know, where is it now? I had it here. It's 30,000 feet. So now also, by the way, Lonely Reaper, I looked for this. I want to use the Aer Lingus one for some reason. Probably because it's Irish. I don't know. And the other ones, these flight plans, there is in here. Just do a search for help, right, in Simbrief, and I found it already. I can't remember where it is, but it's up here in the main menu. If you go to the main menu, and it'll select the flight plan, you hover your mouse over it, and it tells you like maximum zero fuel weight, yeah, maximum takeoff weight, and all. It tells you exactly what each line is, right? So they don't have one for Aer Lingus, unfortunately. So a flight plan right down here, you see it says level 0300. 30,000 feet is our cruise altitude. There you go. I'm pretty sure about that one. So that's what we're going to put in there, 30,000 feet. You can do flight level. So it's a flight level. The transition altitude is when you switch from standard baro. That's a standard pressure setting. Sorry, the local pressure setting. You switch that to standard. Okay, so I just going to put 300 here. Flight level 300. You don't have to put the temperature because it does it for you. It's going to be minus 36 degrees. It's quite cold up there. And that's all. I'm going to clear these messages here. Boom. Boom. I'll keep an eye on that shot there in case you come back to me, Lonely River. Okay, I think you're happy so far. And that's that done, right? So in page 1, in my checklist then it says go to flight plan. So here's, I hope this is where it is now. This is the bit I got caught up and I got really confused. And it caused all sorts of confusion. Now for some reason it's just easy. Once you know, it's easier, right? So not a lot of stuff going on here, but don't mind these flight plan discontinuities here at the moment. Because as I said, right, in the flight plan, what it does is it only loads in the airways. And the airways are like highways in the sky, right? Where's that map? So these are the airways here, okay? So, but it doesn't put in our departure and it doesn't put in our arrival. Because that could change at the last minute, can't it? So it doesn't put in those by default. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in my arrival. So KIAH for Houston. This is departure. Boom. And it's going to select our runway. Now the flight plan, if you remember, it said 15 left, didn't it? It said 15 left. 15 left. Where are you? There we are. See it says 15 left there? There we go. 15 left. Now, the standard instrument departure, when we take off from the runway, you want to join the airways, and this is it. So you go north, south, east, west, and it's all planned out. It's all planned out by the law. So effectively, it's a lot of stuff in there. Like you'll see it in Navigraph, for example. You can have a look at. Let's see if we can make sense of this. Kilo India Alpha Hotel. Alright, let's get all that information up. It'll happen here, standard instrument departures, right? Now, I have to say to you, I'm looking here, BLT WY7. Oh, this is it, look. Now, this is saying, right, see? That's our departure. We're going up to the north, it looks like here, if that's north facing. Okay, so we take off, and we join up here, and off we go. And there's a whole load of those. This here is from Jeppson. You see the Jeppson here? So every airway, every route, every airport has all this stuff done, right? There's a lot in this, but let's not get freaked out here. Let's just get the basics right first. So that's what we're doing. We're programming this, and this used to be manual, of course. You got to remember, all right, we're going to take off. See here, it doesn't give us where we're turning from the, well, it doesn't have our departure, but we're going to, that's our first waypoint, that's our second waypoint. It's got constraints here. Is that a constraint of 5,400 feet? It's American now, so forgive me. We're going heading at 345 degrees. Then it's another waypoint, and it's giving its heights and altitudes. So you'd have to do those manually yourself. Climb, level off, keep your speed limits, etc. But it does it automatically for you with the autopilot on. So that's what we're doing. Bravo, BLT WY7. So that's what I'm looking for. So we said I was going 15 left. Select that. And I go for BLT. There it is. BLT WY7. BLT WY7. BLT WY7. If that's different, or if you can't find it, what you have to do is, unfortunately, you got to update the air rack, right? So this is working for me now because I've updated the air rack. Now, Navigraph will give you that. You got to pay for that, though. This is the problem I had, and it was confusing the shit out of me. I didn't know if it was up to date or not. So if I open up my Navigraph, right, I pay for this. Now, there's other ways of getting this information, I'm sure, for free, but I pay for this from Navigraph, or actually the subscribers. Thank you. You've actually sorted this out for me. So Navigraph. AirRack cycle 221 revision 2. So they're all up to date now. See that? They're all up to date, and therefore all that information from Simbrief will match what's in here. Do you see that? So that's really important. You need to have your AIRAC data no matter where you get it. I think it's 10 quid a month I pay, you know, out of the subscribers account and the members accounts and all that kind of stuff. So that's very important. Otherwise, you're going to get confused. Now, it can be a little bit out of date. It doesn't really matter. I'd like to thank you very much for V Sharma 1123 for following. V Sharma, welcome. Welcome to the madness. Let me see if Lonely Reaper's given a comment. Give me comments there, Lonely Reaper, if you're on still. Robert Times says, Takeoff tip. Keep your hand on the throttle till V1, then V1, move your hand away from the throttle and grab the yoke instead. Absolutely right. This is to ensure that you will not slam the throttle to idle after V1 in case of an emergency. At V1, you are committed to takeoff. At all times, yes. There's no room for stopping anymore. Any problem should be dealt with in the air. I'm not a real pilot, but I saw this on YouTube from a real pilot, and I think it makes sense. And you're absolutely right, Robert Times. That's true. That's absolutely true. And we're going to look at, we'll slow down. We'll talk about the V speeds as far as I know. Right. I'm not an expert at this, by the way. All I'm doing is showing you what I know. That's it. Do you know? There's a lot more people on the chat that know more about this than I do. First time chat for V Sharma 123. Sorry, 1123. Always good to verify AIRAC in the data page as well. Yes, how do you do that, by the way? Let's just continue what we're doing here. I'm going to go back to your comment there, right? Because the AIRAC data is very important, right? Now, where was I? Yeah, so we're doing our standard instrument departure. So I said B, Bravo Lima Tango, Whiskey Yankee 7. Select that. Now, as you're doing this, by the way, right? Watch this. There it is. I'm going to select it. Boom. Now, see here? It's got a dotted yellow line. If I zoom out a bit, you see it's like a straight out departure now. It's pretty much straight to the first waypoint. Happy days. So I'm going to insert that. Hopefully this doesn't make a mess of me now, because I'm in America now. So I'm going to insert that temper. Boom. That looks a bit broken up now. That looks odd to me. That does not look right. This is why I don't fly in America very often in the sim. So turn that on here. I don't know what that is. I don't know why they've added this little bit up here up the top. That makes no sense there, right? So it's a straight out departure. Okay. Sometimes there's a bit bugs in here and stuff, but I got to keep going as normal, right? Because it's the right way. I've been doing this for ages now, as you know. There is a flight plan discontinuity here still, right? And I don't know why that is. So I'm going to delete that, and that might join up the dots, I'm hoping. Okay. So I'm going to delete that, and let's see how that goes. Why is it always in the American countries in the sim messes stuff up? Clear and flight plan discontinuity. Not allowed. See, it's been going very well now for a while. I haven't got any of these bugs. What the deuce is that? Choose a different runway. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Choose a different runway. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I get this stuff sometimes. Right. So let's go. Let's fix this. Right. So let's choose a different runway to depart. Now maybe the wind. Let's just have a look at the wind here. Boom. Departure. Wind is 128. So I'm going to choose a different runway. Okay. Go back to flight plan. Go to departure. Let me get that off. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to go to our departure. Right at the top of it there. Just come out and back in again. There we are. We're at the top there. Right. Boom. Departure. We're taking off 15 left. The wind is 120, so we'll just take the crosswind. 120. Let's go 26 right. What are the winds like? They're not very strong. It's 8 knots. At most we'll have an 8 knot tailwind. Let's try 26 right, just randomly, right? And choose this one. Insert. That looks good to me, because if you think about it, if you think about it, we are going north. Do you know? I'm going north. That looks good to me. So you can try a few different ways. Let's just zoom out a bit more. Yeah, so that looks good, straight out. So now we're taking off. I'm going to write that down because I'm going to have to taxi there. 26 right. So you can change it, you know? And that's fine. 26 right. And do you know what I have to say? Right, thank God. Because V Sharma 123 said you are taking off in the opposite direction or a different star. I understand the confusion. I fly in NA. Really leave the States. And he said choose a different runway. So we got a bit of knowledge on there. So that's great. Happy days. So that's, you could change it. So sometimes this weird stuff goes on. So there's the runway there, and we're going straight out. Yay, easy. Now the next bit is our arrival. So let's try the arrival. So KD Foxtrot Whiskey for Dallas. Boom. And arrival. We said we'd arrive into runway 18 right. See, this will all be stuffed up now that I'm trying to show you. 18 right, ILS. 18 right, there we go. And it said BEREE1. BREE1, there we go. Just like the flight plan. And of course, if that doesn't work out first, we can kind of change it depending on the winds or anything like that. So, where was I saying? There it is there. BREE1. Yeah. BREE1. Boom. And now, this is, I'm a little grey here. I'm a bit grey with the transition. Right? But let's not hit insert yet. Okay? Because what we can do is, right, you can go to arc. Okay? I'm going to put it to 20 miles out. These guys will have to be deleted. See this nonsense here? So what I'm going to do, always does this to me in America. We'll try that one. We'll just hit insert. We can always change it like we did the last time. So these two feckers I'm going to have to delete. That's just some weird bug there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit the up button only when you hit the arc button, right? Watch this. So I'm going to go up arrow. I think it's up arrow. Oh, sorry, no, the plan. Sorry, the plan button. Jesus, you got to go to the plan button to see your flight plan, right? And look, I go up arrow now. It's going to go to each waypoint, and there's a discontinuity in there. Let me zoom right out there. Is it? Oh, this is really stuffing it up now. Let's get rid of these flight plan discontinuities. Let's get rid of them all. Now, I wasn't expecting this to happen, and I don't know why that's happening. Let's take this back. Let's take this back to where we were. This is kind of infuriating. No, I'm lost. Let's just go back to the beginning. It's going all over the bloody place here, folks. There we are. The next one. Next one. It's not joining up. The dots aren't joined. There's weird stuff going on here. Up to whatever that is. What? Manual. There's another discontinuity. Not allowed. So I don't know why that happens. Can I move that to... No. No. Can I move this one? No. Every time I go to America, this happens to me. Let's try that all over again. That's kind of annoying. You need to add a transitions. That's what I'm thinking. Thank you, V Sharma. Thank you. So let's try that again. Right. Let's go to our destination. Go to arrival. We said 18 right. It won't take me in there, so I've got to change it. Right. And then go back. It's really quite annoying. Back in here. arrival. 18 right, boom. And I have to select transition. So V-Sharm is saying, look at your runway chart for your transition. Okay. So this is a grey area with me. Let's have a look at the runway chart now. Let's go to Navograph. So where is the transition? You see, I'm thinking, am I right in saying the transition is from takeoff to the first waypoint? Yeah? So where do I go to the ref? No. No transition. I have no clue. Oh, pull out the, he says pull out runway 18 right chart. For where though? Oh yeah, for obviously for Dallas. Stupid of me. Right when this happens. KD Foxtrot whiskey. Boom. Okay, so pull up your runway chart. So approach runway 18. ILS localizer 18 right. Okay, that'll do. So now where's the transition? Transition. I don't know what the transition is. I'm hoping a V-Sharm will tell me now. So I pulled up the chart. It says ICL, but where did you find that? Here. I see it here. So based on your approach. Okay, so it's based on my approach. So the transition is based on my approach. Okay. So because I was confused because nothing here says transition if it stands for initial fix. Initial fix. Where's the initial fix then? Oh, here we go. Radar fix. Okay, a little bit of gap in the knowledge there. I remember doing this years ago. Well, we didn't do a lot of transitions, I have to say. It wasn't really an issue. So that is, those are the transitions. So ICL. Okay, so let's do that. ICL. Thank you so much, Visharama, because that was a whole. Every time I came across this, I didn't know what to do. So we got to scroll down a little bit here. ICL. I can't see a transition there with ICL on it. No, it doesn't have one. It stands for initial fix. That is confusing as hell for some reason. Jeez, we'll never get off the ground at this point. Johan, maybe? Yeah, it has Johan, alright. Let's try that. Insert. What the hell? It's taking us back here again. Delete that. Not allowed. Now I'm confused, Lonely Reaper. Spacing approach. Let's try this again. This is so annoying. Destination. Arrival. Let's try 18 left. Okay. 18 left. 18 left. Cat 1, cat 2. I don't know which one you see. They're all the same. So now, after what you told me there, these are crouch. Is that the initial fix there? Okay, so I'm saying if it stands for IF initial fix, after you take off, you'll go direct to shank. The takeoff's messed up as well. Right, so I think the takeoff's messed up as well for some reason. So this is hopefully next day I learn something new. Because this looks messed up, my mans. You know, that's all screwed up. That is all way screwed up. So let's try let's get the departure right first. Right, so flight plan. Sorry, Lorna Reaper, this is stuffed you up. This wasn't like it was the last few days. All went swimmingly. Departure. Get rid of him. Where's him? No, I want to do that again. Departure. We changed the runway. We just change it again. Let's try 27. I'd like to reset everything now. You know? I'd like to reset the whole thing. But you can't. So there's our departure. It's a bit out to the west. And that's not making any sense at all. You know, there is KDFW there. It's quite a short trip. So it's going out here now, so that's the wrong one. So I've stuffed it up. Let's have a look and see. Now I'm in okay, let's follow what V Shammer is saying. So this is on Twitch now, right? So bear with me now. So let's open my Pisa for where is there a way I can start this again? This is a route that UA is using for the... Okay. Now I'm completely confused. Let's try this again. I think I just missed one thing, right? It's got to work as from what we've gotten, right? So we said it was 1-5 left, right? And we were told to go to BL, this one here, and I think I stuffed up with this one here, cried here, right? Transition, let's select that and insert that. Over to him. Not allowed. I'm using live weather, yes. And he says, let me see what they're using in KIAH. So I don't know if this is just one of those little buggy things, you know. Little kind of buggy things sometimes, you know, because it does happen. Or is it me? Because it's not right. You've seen me do this 1,000 times. Well, not 1,000 times, but quite a few times. And it all works swimmingly once you get the Simbrief done. So that's kind of annoying now. I'm kind of annoyed. Because this is going, there's our destination. It's not a long trip, you know, it's not a long trip at all. So it's going all the way up here and down again, and it's going down here for some reason for the departure. So that makes no sense, does it? So we'll wait for Free Shamra to come back and see what he has to say, right? What they have to say. Departure. If I could just get rid of everything here now and start again. Let's have a look and see. If you just go to init here, there is a way of getting rid of everything here. This is infuriating now. This is not the way I planned everything to go. And there's me going, oh yeah, I'll show you. Was it in MCDU? Was it in config? No, that's all your failures and stuff. MCDU. Maintenance. I don't think it was in maintenance. FMS reset. Let's confirm that. We'll go back to flight plan. Now, it's reset. So, I'd like to go back to init now and init request again. I've tried this before and it didn't work. Please work. Oh, it works now. Brilliant. Okay, there must have been some sort of an update. So now we can start again. Right, so flight plan. KIAH, departure. Great, we're departing 15 left. We're using 15 left, we're using Y7, this one here. Now it does have a transition here. Right, so let's try that. And insert. Why would it take us out to come back up again? I don't know. Let's see what this where this takes us. The destination. If this doesn't work, it's got to be a bug, folks, because I've done everything the way you're as far as I'm where supposed to. So our arrival into Dallas 18 right. 18 right. RNAV. No, I don't want RNAV. Did I pass it? No, let's go back up the top here. I missed it. I want ILS 18 right. Okay, that's the top. 18 right. ILS. I want ILS here. Is there oh, maybe there's no... There we go. No, it's all RNAV, folks. Is it all RNAV? Did I not? The deuce. Maybe there's no ILS. See, it just says 18 right there. Maybe that's the problem. And probably a lack of knowledge as well. Let's try the RNAV then. I don't want to do RNAV. I want a precision approach, you see. Okay, we're going to try a different runway. ILS 18 right, okay. There it is. So I'm half blind. There it is. 18 right. And it's set to use this one here for V1. Boom. Insert. Now, for all the times I've done this, that was fine. And it ain't now. Look, we're going from here to here. We're going from here to here. We're not going down this way. We're going north. Okay, so we're getting lots of stuff here. I'm assuming you're using in night weather. Okay, with the current winds, you would be using runway 08. Florida fella says 08 left has an ILS. Okay, that's probably where we're going wrong. So let's change that. Sorry, 18 left has an ILS. Right. That's from Florida fella. Right. So let's try that. Boom. We're going to start this all over again now, just to make sure this is not to be. I need to learn this. We need this thing. 18 right. So I've selected 18 right. All right, yeah. But it's not. It's not joining up the dots, basically, folks. You know. Florida fellas, I just flew it. B1 approach. Yeah. So what am I doing wrong then? Or am I doing anything wrong? Dale Hoover's giving me the same advice now. Yeah. B1 was a good ILS approach for runway 18 left. So this is a real pain in the neck. Let's do that then. Okay, sorry, 18 left. There we go. B1. Boom. This bit here is a transition, which from a bit grey on. 18 left. Is that 18 left I'm looking at? Crouch. Or align. It's not giving me that at all. Some random Philip, hey, how you doing? Cherokee, good stuff. Have you included a transition? No, I'm trying to figure that out now. And it's not giving me what's on the chart. You know, it's all updated, you see. Oh, hang on, I have the wrong chart up, and I bet you now, because we changed 18 left. Yeah. Yeah, crouch and align. So, align. It's not showing up there. Did you see that? It ain't showing up. That is very confusing. Yeah, they're saying, Florida fella's saying just get rid of the discontinuities. I agree with you. Do you know? Let's insert that. See, we need a, let's try this one, the first one. This is infuriating. So, now, why is it going down south is the problem. What's it doing going down south? I'm going to ignore this. So, there's the first part of it here. So, that it won't let me just remove the discontinuities. So, if I hit clear now, and hit the flight plan discontinuity. Oh. No. Clear. Boom. Not allowed. See? Not allowed. So how do I clear that now? Remove the manual. go align. Replace it with a new waypoint. Yeah, I thought you could hit this button here, for example. How do you replace it with... How do I move this waypoint up here? This, you know, how do I do that? Or, you know... Type it in. Okay. So, boom, boom, boom. Okay, D or E M or boom. Did I erase that? Damn it. D or E M or boom. I erased. Did I insert? No, I just thought. I don't know what's going on there. That is why it requires bonded input. That is why it says manual, because it requires bonded input. Now delete the discontinuity. Clear. Boom. Not allowed. Won't let me delete it. I have a plan. Bear with me, right? Put the flight plan where the manual is. Oh, manual here. Okay. D or E M or boom. Insert. Okay. I didn't notice what the manual was. So if it says manual, Visham is saying that is why it says manual, because it requires manual pilot input. So now have a look. Does that join the dots now? Oh. Let's go to arc mode. Or sorry, we're still in plan mode. And let's just zoom in a little bit. Right. And now we're going to review that. Up arrow. Up arrow. See, it's going up a line there, each waypoint. See that? That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. And that looks bad. Where is it going? It's going off up more north now to the runway, is it? I don't know what that's the runway we're going for. Okay. So now we got to sort that bit out. It's all very well and good when it goes in smoothly, isn't it? So that's going up to manual. Ah, there's a manual there. Let's get rid of that manual there. Oh, that's the go around. Okay, let's go to flight plan again here. Okay, so now we're fine with our departure. We have a problem with our destination. Okay, so let's go to our arrivals again. And we said our arrival was best to 18 left. We said, let's just double check that. There's some sort of a transition here that we haven't done, so I can't edit that now. Okay. Oh yeah, he said replace the manual with a waypoint. Okay, let's go back here. Hit flight plan again. Go back. So let's go down. There's another manual there. That's the first time I've seen that. I have to admit to you, when I saw a manual there, I didn't know what. I thought that was a waypoint. Do you know? So I'm going to check. Does it say manual again? It does at the very end. There's a manual there, right? So can I clear him? Yes, I can. No, but you said wait. Florida fellas have frustrated me for a while to replace the manual with a waypoint. Okay. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go back. So, let me just go down and see what waypoint I can use for that. So, manual. What waypoint can I use, though? So, there's the manual. So, UDOL, right? Vishram says there is... It's there purposely because ATC will vector you. Of course they will, and that's, you know, that's what happens in real life. So I'm going to put a new doll. Sorry, Florida fella, this is confusing you even more. I know it. I think it's this one. It's a closer one for sure. There we go. We deleted the manual. Okay, so let's review what happened there from the very beginning, okay? So, beautiful V Shamra says, okay, so V Shamra, you're brilliant. You're the hero of the day, folks. The hero of the day is V Shamra. There is no doubt about it, folks. Thank you very much, V Shamra. We have a new hero on the channel, folks. Even Buttons is impressed. Happy days. Thank you, V Shamra. So, the confusion was, right? It comes up with manual V Shamra, right? And that's saying, well, ATC usually vectors you, but you can add a waypoint or take one of the existing waypoints before that or after that, right? Put that in where it says manual, and then you can delete the discontinuity. I hope you followed that. So that looks good to me. Is it a 10 mile, intercept for the ILS? I want at least 10. So let's have another look here. Let's go up again. There we go. Kind of. No. That's like 5 miles. That's exactly right, Florida fellas. That's great. Thank you. Robert Time says, welcome all to another episode of Programming the FMC for Dummies. Will get you into trouble in no time at all. But I didn't know about the manual thing. Because every airport I keep hearing this, pilots, they're going, we never use the procedures, because that's you do with the small twins. You do the procedure. You'll never get that going to an airport. Very rarely, I would imagine. All pilots say, well, we're vectored in always. We don't do the procedures. So we're trying to program it to do the procedure. Okay, let's get going, and we'll worry about this little bit here later, because we need a 10-mile approach. That doesn't look like a 10-mile approach to me. Let's worry about it. I mean, it's going to be a very quick cruise. I won't have time for that. What we'll do is we'll do a go around, right? If that happens. Wow, we're on it now for 1 hour. 1 hour, and we haven't even taken off yet. We missed our slot. We're in big trouble. Let's get going. All right, so Florida fella, do you know what? I thought it would all go swimmingly. Do you know? I thought it would all, no, it wasn't Florida fella. It was Lonely Reaper. Lonely Reaper. I thought it would all go swimmingly, and I'd be all cool. And say, yeah, that's how that's done. Aren't I great? I've learned something, but no, something came up. But I've learned that thing for today, the manual thing. I got to go. Blue skies for you, Florida fella. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a great deal. Okay, let's go. Where was I? Bloody hell. Flight plan. Radnav. Okay, that's already in there. Radnav. Let's just get going now because I messed up the stream. Radnav. I'm not going to even look to see. I'm going to switch off that thing to see who's watching because I said everyone just left there. That's my own fault for not having the knowledge. Init page 2. Boom. Flight number we'll do is 01. The other thing we learned here that it did reset the flight plan for me, which is great. I hope that works. Cost index, I said I'd go 3. Flight level was 30,000 feet, so 300. Boom. There. Fine. Let's go straight to init page. Let's go to Radnoff. Okay, init page 2. Init page 2 is... Oh no, here we go. There we go. I had it. We need our zero fuel weight. Let's get our zero fuel weight all done up here. Ground services, mass and balance. Let's load the aircraft. Where is all my stuff? Is it already loaded? No. I have to re-download it again. Re-import for Simbrief. Yes, re-import now. Yeah, I know this. Please ensure fuel units you are ordering to match up the setup. Okay, now that's. Let's go to sim settings here. Hectopascals, I think. Look, we'll just go with it. Let's get off the ground and do problem solving on the way. Right, mass and balance. Now, I want. Oh God. Let's load something, folks. Let's get some packs on board. A little bit of cargo. Oh, it's not doing the fuel either. We need to do this right. So, let's reload. Let's reload this. This is what it's like when I first started flying this, wasn't it? Do you know? Oh, that's going to cause all sorts of problems then, isn't it? Please ensure fuel units you are ordering. Okay, that's going to make a mess. No wonder it's not working. So we have to use in America, isn't it, gallons? units. No, that wasn't right. Fuel units. Sim settings. Units. Fuel units. Pressure, distance, weight. This is why I don't fly in America. Oh, all these should be on, by the way. Fuel units. Doesn't have anything but fuel. Inches of mercury. Okay, distance, feet, weight. Probably kilograms. Let's see that. I'm getting myself into a muddle here. There we go. That's what it was. It was pounds or kilograms. And that was in sim settings, units, kilograms. Okay, fine. Okay, now mass balance. There we go. Load aircraft, instant, boom, boom. Okay, so our zero fuel weight is 59.9. 59.9, boom. To CFG is 31. 31.0. Put that in there. Boom. Rock fuel. This is taken from Simbrief. I don't think I'm watching anymore. I don't think poor old Lonely Reaper's watching anymore. He's gone off on YouTube, I'd say. That was a real stuff up, but I learned something new. That's what it's all about in the stream. Until I become an expert, you know, until I become an expert of some degree, you know, it's going to be tough. Okay, let's go to performance now. Oh, I didn't confirm the block fuel. Confirm block. There we go. Performance. V speeds. Get the V speeds. I'm going to go into departure. This is going to be a long stream. This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough, folks. It's going to be tough. It was raining earlier on. It's probably sunny out now at this point. So, you know, it's dry. Dry. Are we taking off 26 right? Did we change that? Flight plan. 15 left. So it's 15 left. 15 left. That's what we had planned. Yeah, that's what we had planned for initially. 15 left. Good. Dry. Flap config. Flaps 1. Force toga. How long is the runway? Oh, it's in feet now. It's not in meters anymore. 12,000 feet. That's plenty. So we don't have to do that. Anti-ice off. Packs are actually on. Good. Let's kick that off. And then let's get our weather conditions. And if you hit calculate, then we will get our V speeds, our trim, and flex to temp. So 152, 152, 153 for our V speeds. 152. Performance. 152. 152. 152. 153. Good. And flaps are for our trim. Flaps 1 down 2. Flaps 1 2 and 0.2. Boom. And flex to temp. 64 degrees. 64 degrees. Boom. Happy days. And that's performance done. Great. Let's have a look at the chats. Lonely Reaper says, I'm still here. I'm always here for you. Thank you, Lonely Reaper. I'm sorry, Lonely Reaper, because it's been going so well for the last couple of weeks. I thought I was getting good at what I knew, but we hit something new there with the manual, right? We hit some. Let me know if you have any questions. I have no problems pausing. right? Because I learn as well. You know, so I learned something new. Good. Well, I confused Lonely Reaper, I'm sure of it. Who's on YouTube here? Brian FX thanks. The sound of the new A310 in-game makes my ears bleed. So same with me. You know, I go back to the YouTube comments now. We get off. We're getting a bit late now. I think people and producer buttons are going to start kicking off, you know, and things. Okay, predictor wind shear on. I'm going to start the engines now. We're going to get the APU. We're going to start backtracking. We're going to have a cool approach. That's why I chose this route, because the weather's very bad. The visibility is very bad in this part of the world. Cabin door. Okay, that's the lock there. Make sure it's locked there. Barometric reference. So now we're in the American kind of style. Does it have it actually here, the barometric reference? No, I can't see it. Let's go back to here, to the weather. My flight. Hit this here to the weather, or departure. It's not Q and H now, it's hectopascals. So where is it? A2988. 2988. Can't do an American accent once. 2988 twice, and 2988. Oh, that's Q and H. If I hit the B button, will it do that? Okay, that only has hectopascals. We'll leave that there for 1013. Oh, it does. 2991. 2988. I think that's standard, is it? 2988. 2988. 2988. Oh, America. VOR just fine, yeah. FCDU altitude, transition altitude is 18,000 feet in America. So we'll just put it to 18,000. We'll assume we get vectors after that and permission to go higher. Speed is managed, heading is managed, IRS alignment is good. EFIS, arc 10 miles. So put it to arc now, 10, I'll leave it at 20. Flight directors are both on. There's one there and there's one here. Then we want to get the APU master on. So APU master, boom here. 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, boom. Start the APU master. Crew oxygen supply on. And fuel pumps, we need those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fuel pumps, air conditioning, whatever, as required, you know. And navigation lights, yep, we'll put those in the local one as well. Once the APU bleed is started, external power off. So as the APU is kicking off here, there it's just kicking off here only. So let's have a look outside. It's still a little bit hazy. What are you going to do? I chose this retro US Airways livery, which I think is quite nice. You're very patient, Tony Reaper, and Raptor, and Blaine. You're very patient as well. The gun is still sitting there, and so is Baker Fly. They're just going, what are you doing, Gripper Sim? You've stuffed it up this day. We've got red cap rating, and we've got 2-3 Sierra waiting. So we're going to be gone soon. We're going to be out of here. Passengers would be arriving by now, I have no doubt. APU is now kicked off. Boom, let's have a look inside. That's the APU gone. That'll disappear now. Now let's get the external power off. See, to vanish there. External power off. Boom, we want the APU bleed on as well. Don't skip the checklist. APU bleed. There we go. APU bleed is on. So now we can start the engines. We're going to get pushback, etc., etc. I'm going to be a little bit quieter until we get off taxiing here. Beacon light on. And let's get backtracked. Which way do we want to go? Now this... I'm going to play with the ATC here. Eastern ground. We're departing north, aren't we? Depart north. Graver said, Houston ground. Airport is currently IF4. Request tonight. Did I say VF4? Ground services. Active clearance. Okay, let's ignore them all. We'll find our way. It's a big airport. I'm not doing that thing. Not yet. Because this is not... It doesn't have all the taxiway markings. Okay, let's start the engines. Let's start engine number 1. Let's put it to start. There's the start. We're going to start with engine number 2. Kick off engine number 2. And that's going to start kicking off. Let's get pushback going. So we're taking off 1-5 left. Now, not 2-6. 1-5 left. I like to confirm it sometimes. 1-5 left. Let's see if we can find 1-5 left there. Just for shits and giggles. I'm not going to bother opening the charts just for now. Oh, we're not going to find it. No, I'm not going to find it. Because it's such bad weather. Yeah, it's such bad weather. So I'm going to have to use my head now. Damn, I'm going to have to use brains. I hate using my brain. I'm going to navigate charts and use my brain. The one's kicking off. Now, taxi. There is a moving map here somewhere where it just says taxi charts here somewhere. Actually, you've got rid of this first. You've got to do this here. You're going to switch it on, and then you go back to taxi. And come on, give me a chart there with my... It just says taxi down here, so taxi routes, is that it? This isn't a paid scenery, so it's very hard to find out where you are. Is that not giving me... That's very annoying. Okay, we're going to find out where we are. It's not giving me the position. There's usually one where it'll tell you your position. Maybe not. That's all gumph there, that's all taxi, that's all stuff there about. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Usually it'll give you an interpolation of where you are on the airplane. Maybe I didn't do that right there. Let's click on this guy. On. Operation track. No, I want it north, please. So that should... I'm not having a good day today, am I? No, sir. No, sir. I didn't want to close down Navigraph either. Let's see if we can get some information here. Okay. Better get out of here. How do I know where to go? I've no clue where to go. It won't tell me anything. Why did I choose this airport? Why? On. Taxi. It's gotta give me some. There we go. We're going to taxi where we're pointing. Okay, now I know where I am. I know again I am, pretty much, and all that kind of stuff. Now, let's backtrack. Gates, chalks, and cones, go away, please. I've learned good stuff here, you know, because I ain't happy with the delay. Although it's not the first time it's happened. This is what used to happen early on, wasn't it? This is the kind of thing that happened early on when I was learning, wasn't it? And I'd be all kerfuffled. To start, please. Push me back. There we go. There we go, folks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this mostly uncomfortable and exhausting flight. We will be taking off shortly. We ask that you fasten your seatbelts and stow your loud babies in the overhead soundproof lockers. Those of you with large, oversized, ugly babies can stow them under your feet. We also ask that your seat and table ties are in your upright position for takeoff. Please ensure all personal electronic devices, including laptops, cell phones, and powered sexual implements are powered off. Smoking is prohibited throughout this flight, but we will serve large amount of alcohol to ensure that your intoxicate levels are high for those of you who are feeling unruly. Alcohol is provided to ensure your personal intoxication and dehydration on arrival. Those of you who are mentally compromised will also be offered alcohol, but smoking e-cigarettes is mostly definitely prohibited. This will make sense to us for some reason. Thank you for choosing Reaper Sim for your flight, and we hope you enjoy this journey with us.
Juice buttons is kicking off. Oh wow. So now I was just turning off the APU bleed and we don't need the APU anymore, so it's let's just hold our horses here. The engine's kicked off yet. Almost available. That'll do. That's a guess, by the way. Master off. APU master autopilot set, set trim and controls. Okay. Let's go to controls, and of course you can test all your controls. Happy days, and our trim is down 2, wasn't it? Down 2. Let's confirm that. See there, it gives you exactly there where it is. Down 2. Let's get performance here. Down 2, great. And down 2 is set. Good. So that's better than that. Yes, probe window heats auto. Spoilers to the arm position. Normally you do this when you're taxiing. Flaps we want to set for takeoff, which I selected flaps 1 for takeoff. Anti-ice that'll come. Auto brake, we can set that now, I believe. You'll be doing this when you're taxiing, but I'm only one person. That's it there. Runway turn off lights and taxi lights on. Runway turn off lights and taxi with lights. Good. Weather radar. If we're away from peeps, we can put on the weather radar and not fright people. Okay, park brake off now, and let's go taxiing. Oh man, let's see if I could fight my way. Don't worry, it's all be fine. All be fine. Everything will be fine. Nothing bad will happen. This is like a Sunday stream. I'm hoping now. I'd be very disappointed. Dallas, I chose this because the weather's horrific. And Dallas. We don't take off in this weather. Wouldn't let me take off in this weather, you know? We need more lights on, folks, don't we? We need a few more lights on in here. It's a bit dull. There is a yellow line. I will follow that. There we go. Happy days. We'll have our lady do the safety brief.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the crew, I ask that you please direct your attention to the monitors above as we review the emergency procedures to remind you of possible horrific death during this flight. There are 6 emergency exits on this aircraft. Take a minute to locate the exit closest to you. When you are intoxicated, please refrain from opening emergency exits during your possible drunk episode during this flight. Should the cabin experience sudden pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from the cabin crew. Oxygen mask will drop down from
like
above your
already.
seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose. Pull the strap to tighten it in. If you are traveling with the children, make sure that your oven mask in the first before helping your irritating loud child. If you are unable due to intoxication, you will pass out and suffocate in an orderly fashion. In the unlikely event of emergency landing and evacuation, leave your carry-on items behind. Life routes and located below your seat.
Let's have a look outside here.
Emergency lighting will lead you to your closest exit. Please be aware, if you are intoxicated, you will be unable to carry out any of these instructions. This also makes sense to us for some reason. Thank you.
Yeah, so alcohol in airplanes, I think that's amusing. Yeah, get lamped out of it, you know. Small tube. I said that yesterday. Okay, folks, we're going to be on our way, hopefully. Let's see what the next bad thing that happens. But it should be fine. Should be fine. We're going the right way in the taxiway. We're going for 15 left. And we're going to go up to the top of the taxiway, take a left here. We should be on... it's not giving me the taxiway exactly. Now, let's just get some other stuff set up here. I want takeoff config here. Let's see what warnings we have. Air pack 1 fault, pack 1 off. Now, I don't have any random things here. Look here. That's interesting. Let's just come to a halt here. Oh, there's another one there. So we're going to come to a halt and problem shoot that there. Pack 1 is off. Oh, that's because I switched it off, didn't I? Like an idiot. Did I? Pack 1 fault. Okay. I seem to have fixed that now. No, I'm going to the next taxiway. Let that chap go there. Let him go in front of me. That's one of our boys. That is Baker Flies waiting at the end of the runway. That must be traffic. That must be world traffic there. Come on. Oh, I think I made a boo-boo. Did I make a boo-boo? Did I make a boo-boo there? Yeah, I made a boo. I need a boo-boo. That's okay. So that chap there, we're going to wait for him. Let's just come to a halt here. I know I've crossed that line. Very bold. Partner brake on. And let's be disciplined here and keep our checklists. It's given out about this pack here. Now, low. No, pack fault. Okay, that's going to be a pain in the neck. Well, now it's okay. Okay, it's alright now. Let's just double check that here and go to pressure. Pack 1. No. No. Low. 0 PSI for pack 1. So, that's odd. I didn't ask for that. But let's have a look at the... This is not going to go well. I just feel it now. Alright? Maintenance failures. No, that's all fine. There should be no failures on here. No. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be a bit cold in this flight. I'm going to go anyway. Anyway, unless anyone has any ideas. Because I don't have any failures on. At all. Okay, let's just go. Don't worry about it in the air. Let's go. Okay, let's enter the runway now. Transponder. And put TA there and the transponder on here. Good, that's that done. We've armed our speed brake. We've got our auto brake set. We want our lights on. Boom, boom. Nose light to take off. That's all good. Also, we want chrono takeoff configured. Okay, come on, keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Will we ever get out of here? Now, with that, I don't know what that is. I know it's the packs and I don't know why it happened. But, interestingly, they have minimum equipment lists. Some things can go wrong and you can keep going. Sometimes you can't. So they do have these things called minimum equipment lists. Which is great. Okay, folks. Let's hopefully we'll get this going. Are you all ready? I'm sure you are for the last hour and 29 minutes. Okay, 50%. 50%. I'm leaving my hands on the throttle now this time. Good, that's 50% and up to flex. Here we go. And this is what we expect to come into. This kind of weather. Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. And we got SRS climb. Nav. 120 knots. Let's hope we don't see an airplane crossing the runway now. You know, wasn't that happened before? 140 knots now. B1 and rotate. Very gently. Very gently. Up we go. Into the soup. Puzzle brake. Gear up. I'm going to fly this manually now for a while. we go. Oh, we're turning already. It's a gentle turn. Very nice. We're going to accelerate. Let's go back to climb mode. Oh, it's a little bit early for climb mode, wasn't it? Let's stick on the autopilot. Feed off the rudder pedals. Autopilot on. Flaps are not to come up just yet. Let's confirm I have it in climb. Yes, I do. The packs are giving us problems. We worry about that in the way. Still in the soup. Nothing to see here. You can't tell if we're climbing or descending or what's going on. Spooky. Flaps still accelerating. Not by a lot though. Constraints are on. I don't know what IM means here. Right? Now I know you're shooting at me going, icing, icing. Yeah, I want to see what happens. I want to see if it actually builds up ice in the windshield, etc. It is raining. Now the temperature... Flaps up. The temperature... Speed check, flaps up. Oh, flaps up. Where's the temperature? Where is... Ah, yeah, there we go. Oh, we're still in good temperatures here, so... We've got a bit of rain. And it's going to be a short trip. Now... What are all the problems? Oh, no, it's not too bad. 231 miles, but still, that's a short trip for this aircraft, isn't it? So let's get ahead of ourselves. Let's get at least the weather in for our destination to what it is now, okay? So, arrival. The KIAH is 2990905. I'm going to write that down here. 29.95. 29.95. Grand. Okay, cool. 5,000 feet there. Still climbing. Flaps are up. Gears up. After takeoff checklist. Let's just do some memory items for that, right? So, the brakes are off. Motor brakes are off. Disarm the aircraft there. We are now 6,000 feet. So, that's pretty much everything, isn't it? Gears up, flaps are up, spoilers are retracted, thrust are set to climb, autopilot is set to on, nose light and runway lights. Nose light off, runway lights off, and when we get to 10,000 feet then we can turn off the landing lights. So let's go into performance here. Let's go to next phase. Cruise is managed. Descent is managed. KIAH, I said, was 29.95. The temperature is 14 and 14. See? Dew point and temperature are the same there. It's overcast 200 feet. Interesting approach. Alright, so that's going to be great. Uh, 0707. 070 and 7 knots. That's the wind on the ground. Barrow, we're going to have a look at that now in a second. Okay, so let's get those landing lights off. And let them walk around the cabin. And there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may realize your safety belts and scramble around the cabin now. We'll be passing out alcohol shortly. Please order more than just one drink at a time. As is customary, the toilets are also ready for use, while left is still now to defecate is beyond us. Thank you.
There we go. I like the livery. I do like the livery. I want to get all this stuff out of the way now, so I can relax then, and we get into a cruise for ourselves and have a look at the comments. Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey. Just making sure I have the right one there. Good. Happy days. Our approach. We are coming in onto runway 18 left, wasn't it? 18 left. Lots of runways, and you know what? It's gonna be tough. 18 left. Localizer. ILS. We're gonna have to do Cat 3. We've only got a Cat 2. This bridge climb to 1,100, then climb right, turn to 3,000 feet, and heading to 5 and transition altitude 3,000 feet. And our minimums. Radio. We're going to use the radio altimeter, right? So 105. What's the height of the runway? Airport elevation. Where's the runway elevation? Slightly different in America. 606. So if I'm right there, 115 above the ground. Okay, 115 on the radio. Not too sure. Well, I am kind of sure, but you know, mistakes we made because 115 in the radio. Boom. Good stuff. And that's it for now. We can change that as we go. Just want to get that out of the way. Straight away out of the box. So we have folks, we have 205 miles to go. It's going to be a quick flight. We're actually on the ground longer than the flight itself. I have been in the real world. I've done that many times. So, you know, you're sitting there and whatnot. And we might have to do a go around in this one. I haven't done that for a while. You know. Looking at the weather there. Okay. Yeah, so we're going up to 30,000 feet. Will we have time for this 30,000 feet, I'm wondering. It's very close. Look, our top of climb and there's ascent. They're together. They're together. So we're going to go up to 25,000 feet now, I've decided. Right, 25,000 feet. Just to give us a bit of spacing. And that pack's still a fault. There's our top of climb, and that's where we should descend. Clappy D, sorry I ignored all your comments there. It's been YouTube there because we got really busy. Some random Philip, hey, how you doing? Cheddar Key. We've got Bakerfly there chatting as well amongst yourselves. Brian FX, Valstorm, some random Philip on YouTube. It's a short flight. I think tomorrow we'll do a bit of a longer flight, you know. So we're going to 25,000 feet, I've decided. 25 multiplied by 3 is 75, right? Producer buttons, would you please? She's doing that thing again. Plus 10. We are going to intercept the glide slope. Let's get the view for you. We're going to intercept the glide slope at 2,300 feet. Now, while it's climbing, I'm going to get producer buttons retreat because you know what's happening, folks. You know what's happening, although you can't see it. You can't see it until I get the buttons cam on here. She's doing that thing again. She's all excited. She's jumping around the place. She's trying to come up onto the seat. And I better hurry. Yeah, let's get the camera ready. Okay, producer buttons, you know what you're doing. I'm not going to delay your treat for any longer. Guys, I'll be back in approximately exactly 9 seconds from when I leave the room. Come on, producer buttons, get your treat. Right, me again. Yeah, back me in. Okay, folks. Ugh. Now, these are very crunchy treat. Ow! Ow! Jesus. She's got very sharp nails. That's quite sore. She's very sharp nails there. She wouldn't give me a chance to show you the treat I was giving her. What can you do? Okay, so we're at 2,000 feet to go now, or 1,200. Oh, 1,300 feet to go. So here we go. We're almost at the top of climb. That's when we start descending. And let's get some eye candy here. Let's get some. There we go. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, we were trying to figure out when we descend. My little game here I like to play. So we're 25,000 feet multiplied by 75 plus 10, 75, 85. 85. I'm just going to leave it at 85 because there's not much in it. So 2,300 feet is our capture for the glide slope. Now that we're at 25,000 feet. Oh, not yet. I'm a little bit ahead of the aircraft there, aren't I? Which is a good for once. So I just let that settle there at our altitude. So I'm going to say 85 miles out. Yeah? So we're going to start our descent at 85 miles. And how did I figure that out? Well, let's be exact, shall we? Because that's fair. I'm going to go 83 nautical miles out. So what I've done there is I've taken 25, multiplied that by 3 is 75, added 10, which is 85, taken away 2. I've taken away 2, so that's 83, isn't it? So at 83 miles out, I expect to be where that white arrow is, roughly. Right, and see how close I get to it. So we've got a good bit to go. We've got a bit of a cruise. So now I can look at the comments. There's one other thing I wanted to do here. And that was... bear with me now. Oh, I did the radio already. Great, so we're going to use the I'm going to come down as... we might... I want minimums to be as low as possible. It is a simulator. But let's just say our minimums are 115 feet. Okay. And I got that from... Cat 2 ILS. Radio altitude. That's a height. So above the ground, which is very low. And we're going to need that. According to the weather. Let's have a look at the weather here. Let's just get some eye candy. If you don't mind, I'm just going to get rid of my camera just temporarily. Boom. There we go. Let's have a look at the weather here. Wind is 07 knots, so that makes sense for fog, okay? Not very windy. 1/2 SM, I don't know, this is American, I'm not used to that. I don't know what that is. Or 117C, 6,000 feet forward visibility, maybe? Light rain, mist, BR is mist, overcast 200 feet. Temperature 14, dew point lane. I accept your request. There you go. I should really do it immediately, shouldn't I? Overcast 2, 14. Blaine, welcome, by the way. Welcome, Blaine. 14. There's the H the Mercury remark. So it's just horrific visibility. You know, fog. And that's what I want. I want that. Now, let's have a look outside and have a look at the comments. I'm going to clutter up to see who's with us. Boom. To activate it. Boom. And also, I've been playing with the views. Oh no, I have to come in here, look. There we go. Now, can I do this? No, I can't. No, I can't. So, that's pretty cool. Did I do the cruise announcements? Let's do it again. No, I'll leave it. I didn't, did I? I didn't do the crew announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may realize your safety belts and straddle around the cabin now. We'll be passing out alcohol shortly. Please order more than just one drink at a time, as is customary. The toilets are also ready for use, while left it to now to defecate is beyond us. Thank you.
I think I did that already. Yeah, I did. I did, folks. So, let's have a look at the comments here for a moment. Starting with Twitch. Robert says, don't forget to check your nav radius and course for the ILS. Absolutely. And I better do that because, you know, let's get that out of the way as well earlier on. Because one day I was doing that and it does it automatically, but it didn't have the right ones in, folks. So, you know, don't get complacent. Get as much out of the way as you can. That's all I'm thinking. 176.100.55. 110.55. That is correct. And the approach course is 177 here. And the plate says 176. It's always 1 degree out. I don't know why. I don't know why it's always 1 degree out. There you are. There's VR2 in there for me as well. Which is here, 113, no, 115. This is somewhere else then. Here it is. Ranger 115.7 is in there as well. Fuse. Good. Well done. That's fine. Oh, the throttles. Did you see the throttles move there? What the hell? See that? That was my hand. I know what happened there. My hand slipped off the controls. That will disconnect the autopilot. Sorry, climb speed. You should leave it on climb. Autopilot's still connected. There we go. Autopilot 1. $121 miles to go. Right, looks like we've got to start our descent soon, folks. Got to start our descent in 10 nautical miles. 9 now. So 110 miles. So I was a little bit far out there with my calculation. I think I must have done something wrong. This plate is something like I've never really seen. The approach plate, by the way. So maybe if I select 4,000 feet. So it's kind of a step down approach. 4,000 feet, we're obviously avoiding hills and mountains and things. The computer should manage that. So maybe I should put 4. Still, it's only 2,000 feet in the difference. Bugger. If I had the real buttons now, I'd be away. There we go. Better make them over. Okay, let's start our descent. Our descent is to, I said 2-3. I knew that wasn't right. 2-3. Very fiddly. I want to get one of these panels if I ever, you know, would you stop zooming in and out? 1, 2, 3. Go. No, not you. Go. That button there. It's very finicky. Why aren't you descending? Now, probably because I didn't go to my full altitude. Of 30,000 feet, wasn't it? So, I'm guessing I don't see a... Let's get in this, guys. No descent. I think it's because... I'm guessing here now. Let me look at the comments. Someone knows. I don't know why we descend here. That could be to do with me having the standard on too late, right? So I'm going to force it. Oh no, no, I didn't need to do that at all. Backtracking. There is the profile up here. See? Interesting. So when are we going to meet that? It's not telling me. Oh, way too late. Way too late. Oh, here we go. Now, watch this dot here coming down here, look. Now I should start descending with this dot. That's probably because I didn't go to 30,000 feet, folks. Now, start descending, please. Oh no, manage mode. Push it in. There we go. There we go. Down we come. Happy days. I think that's why. Because the flight plan was 30,000 feet. And it was waiting for that dot to come down. So we catch up with that in no time. There is where we're back on profile. There we go. We're almost back on profile there. And there's the profile dot there. I know it's another name for it. Now we're on the soup already, folks. We're in the soup. I'm not going to put on the icing. I'm aware of the icing. I want to see if we build up some icing. But it doesn't look like it because the TAT now is 0. Well, that would be 0, wouldn't it? But the it's minus 24 degrees. So we should get icing, no? Of some degree. Going into these clouds. And we want an adventure. That's what we want. Now, I didn't want to be on the ground all the time having an adventure, as you understand. But we might have to have an adventure if you don't see the runway by our minimums. We'll be in trouble. Let's check to see if the KIAH has changed, because that's going to be kind of, you know, pretty relevant here. 29905. 29905 is the same. So we're on profile. We're going a little bit fast. So I'm going to put out a little bit of speed brake. I wonder if they're telling me to put in drag already. Yes, it is. See, it says more drag. So let's put in a little bit of drag. Nice and slowly. Now, not a lot of time for the comments, was it? Robert Time says, is your navigaph up to date in the PMG 737? Sorry, is your navigaph update up to date? In the PMDG 737, the course is the same as the plates 176. Yeah, it's up to date, Robert. You know, I don't know, it's always done that. It's 1 degree, you know. I don't know why it does that, you know. I don't really know, I don't know why. I love this type of weather. Look at the cloud layers and everything. I got the brakes on there. That looks so cool, doesn't it? Absolutely looks stunning. Great. I love the livery, oddly enough. So now we're getting to slow down. So I'll slowly take off the brakes. We're kind of in profile now again with the speed. What I'm looking at there, just to explain to you, if you're just on this magenta line here, and here is our speed range for our descent. Right. And that looks okay. We're just down here where the yellow one is, so that's fine. Speed brakes now are up. And what else do we need to do? We've got our constraints on. Oh, let's pay attention to the constraints. Oh, and also let's get our pressure setting done. That'll screw things up. 92995. Once. It's going to beep at me next. I'm not quick enough. 95. And KIAH, leave that there. 1013. Stand by. So that's that done. Checklist. Checklisty boos. We did the cruise. I didn't really say that, but I did it. Descent. FCDO attitude is set. Safety belt sign. We'll put that on now. Safety belt sign. Good stuff. Anti-ice. I'm leaving that off on purpose to see what happens. Parametric reference is set. 2995 and 2995 at 110,000 feet. First of all, it's 250 knots, isn't it? And then landing light on. So that's all nice and dandy. Happy days. 100% now.
We will be making our approach shortly. We ask that you take your drinks to your seat and fasten your safety belt. They'll be offering more drinks shortly. Also, we would like to take this time to thank you all of our subscribers and members for supporting our endeavors. If you are not a subscriber on Twitter or member on YouTube, please consider joining in order to secure our adventures far into the future. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get ahead there. Q&A is set. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. That's an unusual. It looks like we're diving towards the ground. It looks like the horizon's here. Just the way the clouds are. It's fascinating. So, you know, from this view here, but we're actually, 3 degrees nose up almost. Or 2 degrees or so. Next constraint there, 250 knots. Yes, we're good with 250 knots. Under 13,000 feet. It just skips above there and above 11,000 feet. So that's where we should be at 250 knots. So that's fine. And we also have 57 miles to go. Into another cloud layer, folks. Back into the soup. Let's look at the comments. Lonely Rupert says, oh, and Gripper Sim, I'm thinking of going for a job as a groundsman. Do you mean in the airport? Handling? Or something like that? Lonely Rupert also says, it turns out that the fly-by-wire A320 isn't great with an Xbox controller. Oh. No, it wouldn't be, I guess. It wouldn't really be. Don't forget to check your nav and radios, of course, for ILS. Thank you, Robert Times, earlier on. Johnny F. Windshield heat is on by default, i.e. button is not on, not lit auto. Yes, that's right. You can force it on, but either way, you won't get icing. Oh, what a pity. Of course, it is an Airbus, isn't it? It's very intelligent. Oh, can I switch them off? I do have to pack one there. It's very unusual. Okay. What are you going to do? Look how dark and ominous it is. We're going to take a turn now for downward to 12,000 feet. And we've got... Let's get out of the packs again. Okay, fine. 12,000 feet now. And we got 16.6 miles. Or 4 miles as the crow flies to the airfield. We're going to turn on to downwind now. We've got to be under 220 knots now. Putting some speed brake out. Just to help things along. It's probably telling me here. No, it's not. 48 miles to go. Now, I do remember it looked a bit short there for the ILS. Oh no, that might be okay. That might be okay. That looks okay now. Slowing down a little bit. Now we're braking. Are we braking the speed limit yet? No. No, we're not. Let's see what happens here. See, it says 220 knots. So I got the speed brakes out. We're now at 230. No? Now, yeah, we've got to level off here with the constraint. I'll take the speed brakes off now because it's going to pitch the nose up a little bit. And it'll slow down. So we've gone below it by just under 100 feet there. So it's climbing up now, look. That's because I had the speed brakes out too much. Good. We're out of the soup again. Okay, so checklists are done. And let's get the flight recorder on early. Before Clapper D, he's probably I did! Haha, Clapper D. Recorder, thank you, Clapper D. Thank you so much, Clapper D. It did happen once or twice, didn't it? I forgot to do the recorder. It got really busy. So what did we learn? What did I learn now new? This flight. Okay, this is good news because the last couple of flights, there's nothing you learnt. It was going quite well and I was in my limits. But you got to be outside our limits a little bit, no? So recording is now started. Thank you, Clappy D. We learned that in at least in America, first of all, it's going to give out. We saw it's going to give out about your where were we? We were in our units here. We want kilograms, I think it was, for weight and pressure. It automatically did that, so that was one thing. That was fine. That's easy. The big thing was the flight planning coming out. Right. So what I've got to do is be aware. Still a little bit grey though, of the transition. You know, the transitions are here. So that's what they are. I have to read up about those. I'd find approach fixes and whatnot. So that's got to be done. And also the real problem actually in the end was that it would say, what was that? Manual, meaning the pilot has to take over manually. So what I did was I put the waypoint, the next waypoint, in manual. Only then could I delete the discontinuity, yeah? And then that worked out fine. Because I couldn't delete the discontinuity. So it says manual because, roughly, because it's going to be radar vectors, isn't it? It's always radar vectors, but we don't have radar vectors. And I think that's all in the end it was. You know? So I think I've learned something new. A little bit, one bit every day. Now I'd love to know why this isn't working here. You know? And what problems that gives you. I'll have to start reading up on this. Did I switch off the lead maybe? That's a thought. But there's no random. I haven't set random stuff in. What I might do one day, I want to play around with this. I might just do this one day. Let's keep it out about the same thing. Packs. Okay, so where are we now? Danger zone. Okay, 8,000 feet. We're on profile. 9 miles as the crow flies. So I'm going to start being sterile cockpit now shortly. Before we do that, let's just look at the YouTube comments. Yeah, so Clappy Juice Recorder. VATSIM QNH is flashing gripper. You need to set it. Yeah, I was a little bit late, wasn't I? If I just had the physical switches. I want to get, actually, folks, I would love to get this bit and this bit. You know? It's real some gear. That one I paid for doesn't do it. It's really annoying. This as well would be handy. This bit, and this bit. Now, they do sell them, but they're expensive. So you find out somewhere where they're not mad expensive. Because that would be really cool. Now, I would if I had it, if I had the money, I would get them if it would work for all the Airbuses. Because I'm not, you know what I mean? Something like that. This is important because I keep the warnings. I just need to get rid of those warnings. You know? Another thing I've forgotten now, but I'm not going to say what it is. Oh, look at that. That's fantastic. The clouds are really good. Let's keep an eye on things here. Okay, fine. When we take that turn, I'm going to get sterile there, sterile cockpit. Or are we going to be too close? 15 miles. No, we're going to be fine. We're going to be way out. And that's going to be absolutely perfect. So look outside. Look at the way the aircraft fades in and out like it would in reality. Look at that. How cool is that, folks? How cool is that? It's just stunning. Looks a bit odd there, a little bit. The TV here isn't the best. I've got a real old school television. It's not really. Apparently it's 4K, but I don't know what you're seeing. But it's good enough, you know. It's good enough. I'm not going to complain. We'll start our turn now soon. And then we're going to come into land now. I have Dallas is the fancy one. You know, it's not the standard airport. Now I may have to do a go around. Let's have a think about the go around, shall we? It's approach climb to 1,100, then climbing right to turn 2,000 feet and heading 245 and outbound to Fuzz via War, which is here. And then do a hold and we'll sort out stuff, right? I can do that, that's fine. Now going to our alternate now, I have not done that yet. I'm not too sure how that works. I can do it, but not in the correct way it should be done. I may have to do that and that's going to extend the stream. But I wanted to get down the ground because I'm starving. I want to eat some food now today. It's been a long day. So let's see if we don't see the runway at the right time. It's going to happen. And what I'm going to do, 5,000 feet now. What I'm going to do is all you have to do in the Airbus, if it's on autopilot, I'm going to keep it on autopilot all the way down. Or will I? But all I need to do is toga power, gear up. Sorry, toga gear flaps, because we'll have full flaps. Potentially. Toga gear flaps. Alright, so full power, flaps, gear. After positive ratio climb, of course. And then flick on the autopilot if I have it off. And hopefully that will take me on the missed approach. And you go to the hold, and then we'll think about what's going to happen next. So that's the story there. So that's the go around. Or the missed approach. Okay, now things are going to start. I'm going to concentrate now. Sterile cockpit. So coming into land now, into our approach.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be landing shortly. Please ensure your seat and tables is in the upright position and your safety belt is secure. Our cabin attendants will be around shortly to prop up intoxicated passengers. If your baby is screaming during the approach, please ensure they are stored in the soundproof overhead locker. On behalf of Sleeper Team and Producer Buttons, we would like to thank you for taking a massive risk during this mostly dangerous flight. Thank you.
Yep, that's happening. That's happening. So coming below the glide slope now, 2,300 feet is set. Next constraint, 3,000 feet at Udall. Last comment there. Some random Philip, how are you? What's your favourite airport? I think at the minute, if I were to say it, would be usually Brussels, because people move around. There's a few of those going around now, people walking up and down. I like that effect when you're sitting at the apron. I just think that's really cool. I'm not too fussed about the internals of the terminals, but I like that. So Brussels, it's going to change all the time, isn't it? So Brussels, for that reason, that's the best one that you can get. I can't remember who made it now. There's some really good developers out there. What I tend to do is I look at the Brussels and I say, oh, that's the guy who made it. And I look at the other ones. And then that's a possible buy, isn't it? Because some of them can be quite poor. Next can stay 2,000 feet. Yeah. So that's now that's in the sim. In real life.
2,500.
We're getting low now. In real life, all of them. Okay, let's arm our approach mode now. Approach mode. And autopilot 2. Why is my hand on the throttles? They don't need to be on the throttles. We got some rain happening, folks. Okay. 6. Oh god. See you there. Get out. Okay, coming down. Flaps 2. Flaps 2, should I say. Alright, 4 beeps. Be good. Good. Flaps 3. A little bit close to the wire there, I know. Flaps 4. Now I'm going to have to position my camera. I'm going to do this manually. No, I'm not going to do it manually. I want to make this a good one. No flaps. 1800 feet now. 1800 feet. It's doing its thing quite nicely. Double check the LQH there. 1,000 feet to go to the ground. The recorder unfortunately won't record the weather, which is annoying. Possibility of going around is high. Okay. I hope I see something. Oh, I see some sort of ground. I see trees. Shut up about the aircon, please. I'm waiting for the minimum call now any second. There, I see the lights. I see the lights. We can land.
100 above.
Oh, good. Let's get my view here for landing. This is awful view.
Minimum 100.
Continue. Easy now, easy now. Come on, back you go. Back you go. There we go. Reverse thrust on. There's that crosswind issue. There's the crosswind issue for Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's the crosswind issue. And off the brakes. So that crosswind issue, as you know, with Microsoft Flight Simulator is a problem. So that's why I was a little bit over the shop at the runway. Do you know? That's why. I'm not taking that. I'm not feeling bad for that. For sure. Okay, let's just hold here for a second. Let's let it roll out a little bit. I don't think it's going to give us very good instructions for taxiing. Okay? So, ground services. Tune to ground. Request taxi to gates. Okay. So, I'm doing this on purpose because normally you'd roll right off that runway and get out of it there, right? Because it's not going to give me the right details. A28, using taxiway F3, Foxtrot, Bravo, Lima 6, cross runway 35, left, Lima 4, Echo Lima. No, it didn't tell me to take a right or left there, did it? No. So we'll just randomly go to a gate. Okay. Flaps up. So that was interesting. No doubt. Oh, look at the 747. That crashed into the back of me. So I was hoping you might say take a left or take a right. It didn't. It won't do that. Do you know? And that makes it all the more difficult, isn't it? Let's see if you turned out the right way here now. So that is now... we're on Golf 8. No. No. Foxtrot 3. No, it's not. It's one of these big airports, and I tell you what, when I do VATSIM, I won't be doing the big airports, folks. Initially, you know. So I'm going to put on my baby wheels. But I love the rain, you know. Okay, so flaps are up. Landing lights off. Oh, would you stop that? Okay, and also, would you... Oh, it's gone all slow now because it's bugged up there, you know. It's getting a little bit choppy. See, my mouse, I'm having difficulty moving the mouse around. Standby the TCAS and transponder. Auto brake to the off position. I armed those. Yeah, okay, fine. There's a few things I didn't do. But look, there we go. Yeah, there's a few things I didn't do as I was coming in. That's why I have two pilots. I have no idea. To the right. I do enjoy the way the... Look at the visibility changing as we're taxiing here, folks. You know, the rain and all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely stunning. Supposed to put on the wipers. Oh, that looks even worse. But it's incredible, the visibility. I love this is what it's all about, and this is what I was looking for, you know. Now, let's put on the other one. No, we'll leave it like that. Is it better with or without? Do you know? I think it doesn't really matter. But they've done a good job. Oh, come on, give me a gate, will you? Give me a gate. Look at the reflections of the lights off the wet ground, look. That is really very cool, isn't it? Now, this is going to bring me to a gate, I hope. One thing I cannot do is navigate around these airports. These big, massive airports. Now, of course, in reality, you'd be studying up, you'd have to know your way around if you're going to an airport like this, you know. And I don't brief that. Well, I didn't have time, did I? I had very little time to do anything. We're up and down like yo-yos. So not the best flight ever. Oh yeah, great. Lead me into the trucks, why don't you? Where is it going? Yeah, lead me in there. Put all that stuff and things in front of us with low visibility. I'd say that hasn't happened before. So I'll just spool up those engines. Yeah, that's very clever. No, leave them on the taxiways. Well, this is a paid airport. Or maybe it's an Asobo one, I don't know. I think it's an Asobo one. The American update. What? Where is it taking us, folks? There's no way it would have wing clearance with those hangars. There's just no way. That's an Asobo airport. Look, there's no way to have wing clearance if you're on that taxiway. You'd be in that building before you know it. Where is it taking us? The only airports I'm buying at the moment are the kind of regionals. At the moment, I have in real life been, you know, as you probably have as well, you go to these big airports, especially was it Amsterdam, it's Schiphol, and you're on the ground for 40 minutes taxiing. And the flight, you know, is only twice that length. I'm going to tell you what the crosswinds are now are in a minute, because if it goes over 50, oh good God, where's it taking us? Are we going to take off again or what? When we're taxiing along this, we're going to have a look at the winds here. So we came into 18 left, okay. So we're heading south. And the winds are 070 at only 7 knots. So what's across with it? 7 knots. Hopefully it'll give us an indication on the way down when we do the replay. Are we crossing over some sort of a bridge here, folks? Look. How cool is that? We're crossing over a bridge. That is just super cool. Look at that. That is bizarre. I'll speed up the taxi a bit. The lads are getting a little bit impatient. Lonely Ripper says, I'm no longer flying. Oh, you're down. Okay, it was a long old start to the stream. And yeah, my Navigraph's up to date for sure. I checked that actually yesterday. Some random Philip, cheers. Those short trips are very busy. Things are forgotten. Things are forgotten. We're on a big. If this takes us to somewhere ridiculous now, look at all the terminals there. You know, where are we going? Should we not be coming over this way? Over to the left? No. Oh, it did say to cross the runway, didn't it? And that's not runway, so we'll have permission. Oh, yeah. Just adding a bit of power here now, we get there sooner than later. That's another runway. Okay. Do you know what? I think most of the time this stream we've been spending most of the time on the ground. You know. It won't turn. Yes, it won't turn. Because I'm taxiing too fast. Where are you taking us? I looked over to park at the terminal we just saw, but it was quite full. So, I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to have a look at Navigraph here. And we're going to see where we are at the in the scheme of things. This just doesn't seem right to me. Taxi. Okay. Yeah, it's just a massive terminal. Look at that. You know, that is massive. It is absolutely massive. Now that can't be a taxiway. That looks to me like it's taking us on the exit the wrong way. Right? The wrong way onto a runway. I thought they fixed all this. No? I thought there was talk about fixing everything. Let's go down here. Like, let's just park up. I'm not listening to that anymore. It's gonna be, we're gonna be here all day, lads. Let's get into the terminal and get parked and have a look at that replay. I ain't following that. No, sir. It's not taxiing right. It's just rudders are not. This is a problem ages ago now, and I don't know. I thought this is all fixed. I really did think this is all fixed. with the steering now, and maybe I'm going too fast, which is probably right. But how fast am I going here now? I'm below 40 knots. Let's get a gate straight ahead. Another runway we're crossing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runways to Searfield has. 6 runways, folks. That is pretty bizarre, isn't it? That's a lot. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get the near scale we can see. There's one there. Come on. It's got the train moving here. Look up here. 7 airports. I think we'll squeeze in here. I see a gate. And I see the yellow line to the gate. Here we go. Get that line in between my feet. Sorry, my TV wants to turn off. Dallas. It's very impressive. Very large. Come on, keep going, keep going, keep going. Takes a while for the engines to spool up. Come on. There we go. Parking brake on. Let's get the gate. Here we go, folks. Quite busy. We got another 2 airplanes mating there for some reason. What will you get between a Delta and an Air Asia aircraft? What will that produce, do you think? You know? Spirit? West Frontier going into American there. Lots of activity. Now this airport looks pretty detailed, even though we couldn't see it a lot. You can see there's a train there. That's pretty impressive, no? Just all the little bits and pieces. I saw that in the distance there. It is absolutely gigantic, but you can't see it really with regards to the horrifically poor weather. Let's have a look at the replay of the landing and then get going. So I'm going to put the flaps back down. Let's turn off those wipers. Let's put the lights back on. And hopefully that'll stop the switches from going crazy. And let's get the replay button. Stop recording. And replay. Now I did it quite at the beginning of the descent, didn't I? So let's pause it. Bring it down to about...
Too low, terrain.
Here. Give it a second. Now I'm going to do 2. I'm going to look inside and then outside. I just want to see what was it I wanted to see on the way down. I'll remember. So it's not crabbing off now because I put the lights on. So I just want to see if it's giving us data that I can rely on. Oh, it's not going to give us the data, is it? It's not giving us any data at all. You know, there's no data there. There's no ILS distance. There's no there's nothing there at all to give us any info. So it doesn't record, see the park brakes on and that kind of stuff. But it's not park brake off. It's not giving us any data with regards to our ILS or anything. or our nav, which is a pity. So that's no good. Let's hop outside. Well, actually, do you know what we'll do? We'll have a look. As I said, let's have a look at this. No. Have a look and see what it looks like from here. So you can see at the side, okay. You know, let's see what it looks like from a passenger's perspective. How can I turn out the cabin lights? They need to be switched off as well. They're all on, right? So where's that switch? Look at that view, folks. Let's do the old. Let's see if I can get a bit of realism in here. No, it won't go forward anymore. That won't work. Okay. That looks pretty damn cool. Bit choppy though. Bit choppy in the frames. That's absolutely stunning. It's okay, firm landing, that's what you want. There we go. I've got wobbly here. It's like that was only a slight crosswind, and it wouldn't. The crosswind, that was 7 knots, wasn't it? That was 7 knots. It doesn't look too bad from the passenger's perspective here. But let's have a look there at the cockpit. Yeah, it's the wind speed I want to see, and I don't think it's going to show that. Let's just rewind a little bit. Let's pause the replay and rewind.
Too low. Terrain.
You don't say. Resume replay. Now. It's telling us we had a tailwind at 23 knots. Now, we're quite high at this point. So let's see what it was just before we touch down. It said it was 7 knots, didn't it? In the TAF, right? So let's see the actual winds is registered on the crosswind. We're 1,400 feet now tonight. Okay, we're getting to it now. We're getting close now. Yeah, we're quite low. See the roads outside there. Let's just examine, because this crosswind business is really annoying me, because it's not how an aircraft will actually work. So you can see here 17 knots. It decreases rapidly as you approach the ground usually. That's 20 knots. 16 now, around there. I'm just trying to get so you can see it on the landing. 20. So it was over a 15 in the end. Right?
100.
So it's 20, which is not an issue. 20 knot crosswind is not now. It's going to catch the tail. Let me pause it here. Right, I'm going to pause it there, right? So it's about 18 knots, under 20, okay? Let's see if we can see the rudders moving. Right, there should be a switch here somewhere to see the footwell here. There we go. No, not really. So let's see if it puts in the rudder. So what's happening here is there's the wind, okay? It's going to catch the tail behind us and force the nose to the left. And that's what will happen, right? But not so much that you end up going off the runway. So let's resume it there. Right, so I was down, that was fine. It's not showing the rudder pedal here. Sorry, the nose wants to go to the left. No, it's not, you can't see them. So you see that was a little bit off the runway there. And that is not right, that is... And I tried this in the Cessna, and it's just the same thing. So, it's a bug. Let's have the last look from the outside, folks. Let's have the last look from the outside. So crosswinds are a problem. Put the sun behind us. Crosswinds are an issue. I can tell you that for $1. Let's just change the angle here so you can see. There we go. Nothing to see here. I love the way you can see something, then you can't, and then the rain and visibility gets less and more. It's really well done. I have to hand it to them. It's incredibly atmospheric. And I got what I wanted today. That's why we're in here. Because I got the worst weather. I found the bad weather. But the winds weren't quite matching the top. Or sorry, the actual weather. So almost you can see the rain showers going past. It's fabulous. There we go. There's the lights. It looks better here than it looked like inside, but of course it doesn't record the weather, does it? So now watch when I first land, okay? It's fine, and then it goes off. See, the wind's pushed the tail over. See, the tail's been moved over there. I'm trying to straighten it, and now we're into kind of an oscillation that we can't get out of. See that? So it's just, I don't think that would happen in real life. I don't know. I don't think so. No, it won't, because I tried it with the Cessnas, and it's still the same thing. But it wasn't the worst thing in the world. You know, it is what it is. I'm not resigned to it, but there you go. So, folkies. Let's have a last look at the comments, and then bid you farewell. So that was interesting. Learned a few things there. So next time that crops up, it won't delay us for God knows how long. It's been a long stream. Thanks all for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Clappy D. Thank you so much. Thanks a million for removing that. Are you using a tiller? No, I'm not using a tiller at all. I think it's a maintenance hangar. Oh, you're chatting about it earlier on. Okay, cool. So, folks, thanks a million for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow. And tomorrow is, of course, Friday, the end of the week. Happy Friday. And, folks, until then, you know, keep safe and don't do anything I do. I'll see you then.